We're in the Loudhouse right now with really dope Grammy Award-winning songwriter. This guy was signed with Kanye West's Good Music label group in 2005. He became one of 3 members of the group. We got him in the studio today. We are very lucky and fortunate to have him. How you doing today, bro?
I'm good, family man. I'm good. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. I'm chilling in the Loudhouse studio, how I do it every Friday night, 9 to midnight with my man's right here, DJ Epidemic.
Yeah, I was just having fun with y'all.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's most definitely a party in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. So tune in. You know, we getting it in.
So tell us, bro, where'd you get your start, man?
You know, basically, as a kid, you know, I always been in love with music. It was a group of guys that grew up across the street from me. And they were sort of like the Jacksons. They played different instruments, and I grew up in an organization as a kid, and I think it was a blessing for me to meet these guys because I totally got into music. Plus these guys would throw some of the craziest parties ever, you know, when I would just see women running back and forth, you know what I'm saying, in and out of their house. So I wanted to build a relationship with the guys. So what I would do is I would sit on my porch and hear these guys rock out, and of course DJs get the music first. I would hit, yeah, you know, so most definitely, you know what I'm saying, I respect you guys to the utmost. So, make a long story short, man, these guys will play so much hardcore music, dog, and I would rush to the store and try to purchase the music out here, and it wouldn't be out yet. So I had to personally build relationships with the DJs. So I started giving the guys allowance money, and they started, you know, of course, feeding me cassette tapes at the time, full of singles. So I guess that's why I'm a strong writer, because as a kid I used to get fed nothing but singles.
Nice.
And not only that though too, so I fell in love with music. I'm that guy that used to beat on the lunchroom tables and freestyle.
I remember that.
And, yeah, freestyle with quarters and, you know, my knuckles. And
we used to do that in the lunchrooms over at Curie High School.
That's right.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And I ran into Kanye, man, when I was I think 15. I got introduced to him, you know, through a friend. His name is Birdman. Not because he's Birdman off like Cash Money, but we call him Birdman because he's like the kosher pickle dude, you know. So shout out, so I'm gonna just call him Lil Wings, you know. So so we don't get it twisted. Shout out Lil Wings. What's up, baby?
Wings.
What's up?
So how important do you feel the DJs are in this industry?
Man, the DJs are very important. We need y'all, man. We need y'all to survive.
That's right.
I mean, most definitely. I mean, y'all break our records. I mean, without y'all, it is no us. I mean, you know, radio, I mean, the clubs, I mean, whatever. I mean, you guys are our word of mouth. So we really respect you guys to the utmost, you know. And not only that, I respect DJs who are real DJs, because now, you know, a lot of DJs got crazy egos. Whereas,
we've seen some of those in here.
Man, God, you know, they think they bigger than the artist the majority of the time, you know.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, I got this artist coming in, let me go change 3 times.
Right. Put a new pair of Jordans on. How does it feel to have your hit with Kanye West and Nas, We Major, on the popular NBA 2013? How does that feel, man?
It's great, man. It's wonderful, man. I mean, sometimes whipping my guys to my songs, you know, and
this ass whipping got the soundtrack.
Exactly, right. Oh, that's me whooping you, man. I'm blowing you out by 20 points. You hear that? And you feel this. But no, man, most definitely, man. This is a blessing, man. You know, as a kid, I grew up playing what was it, Jordan versus Bird and all these video games. Double dribble. I mean, wow, you went back. I mean, Mike Tyson Punch Out. You know, I grew up a gamer, so most definitely to have my music, you know, embraced. Not only that, Jay-Z executive produced the whole soundtrack. So for him to handpick that song personally, it meant a lot.
Nice. Now, how do you feel about the whole thing with like guys working, you know, with writers and stuff like that?
I'll put it like this, the writing I did, I can respect it to the point because it's not like a lot of the guys need you. They're just so busy, whereas, you know, plus they're so crazy with their craft, whereas they really don't need writers. They just got so much going on, whereas in the room I'm designing clothes and I'm working on this movie script, and, you know, and I'm trying to finish up this album. So, I mean, not to say that they really need me, it's a blessing to have my hand be accepted at the end of the day. But there are guys out there though that do need my hand, just to be honest with you. So if that's what you want to hear, yes.
No, do you feel like that's gonna be more and more accepted? How you know how like a lot of R&B guys, they all have like people helping them write their songs. Do you think that's gonna be more accepted by the community?
Well, you know what? It's scary, man, because now it's not about lyrics. You know, like when I grew up and I fell in love with hip hop. You know, I fell in love with like the Purple Tape when I was a kid, Rake One, and I remember when me and Ye was riding in the car and we first heard Jay Ain't No Nigga. You know, man, we must have played that thing possibly about 20 times. I mean, just back to back, because we was in love with lyrics and just the craft and, you know, just Souls of Mischief and, you know, just Tribe and not only that too. I mean, once again, I grew up across the street from DJs, so I was getting fed gangster singles too, like the Spice Ones and, you know, the whole West Coast, the NWA.
Nice.
So, but I mean, to talk about the lyrics, I mean, now, just to be honest with you, it's scary for a writer because the public, the community is accepting a little bit of anything now on tracks. Hit you in the head, oh yeah, you know, and it's like, oh God. But it's no longevity into it, and that's what I try to explain to these kids, because when you create music, you don't want to get out of your element so your block won't support you, but you want to create music big enough for arenas, but acceptable for the block.
Okay. I know you've worked with a lot of celebrities, artists, lately, so who's like the one that stands out the most for you?
Well, most definitely it was Nas, you know, as far as, Nas is like humble and so low key, and I mean just smooth with it, you know. It was a period of time where as I was in hotel rooms just talking to Nas, calling him, and he would actually just pick up, you know. And I even had a chance to go out with him and his wife a few times in Los Angeles, you know, like, yo, I'm out with my wife at this club, meet me here, you know, and I was, you know, slide through, talk to him, hang out, have a few drinks, and real cool brother, man. I respect him.
Okay. Inspired you, basically. He's nice. How was it growing up in Chicago for you, bro?
It was kind of rough, man, growing up in Chicago. Well, I went to Julio in high school. Okay. Yeah, I grew up on the south side. I grew up on south side, 87. I grew up on 87, actually around the corner from GLC. So me and GL, we've been knowing each other since the 80s, you know. It was kind of rough because I grew up in organization. I was a spoiled kid because first of all, I was used to getting things, and I lost my father. I lost my father when I was 12 years old from a heart attack, and my father was like my best friend. So just imagine being a spoiled kid and everything you're used to getting just comes to a stop because your parents, you know, just passed away. So therefore,
makes you go harder. Yeah,
it makes you go harder. Plus, I was looking for that father figure too. So, you know, I joined the organization and I gang banged for a moment. But I always was in love with the corporate world and wanting to better myself and better my people. So what I would do is, as a kid, I would come down here, downtown Chicago, and walk around and walk amongst the corporate and stare at the buildings. Because I mean, real talk, I always wanted to be a part of this.
That's,
you know?
Creative right there, man.
Yeah, and I remember, you know, I started hustling a little bit, and I always was attracted to school too, so don't ever give up on school or your dreams, you know, to anybody that's listening. And just to be honest with you, I would walk around downtown and I would come back to the hood, and a lot of the older guys would say, "Lil G, you missing too much money out here, man. You gotta say F school, you know?" And I would always be attracted to school because I want to show off my gear, you know what I'm saying? Plus my Jordans, my chains, you know? And plus I was addicted to learning, and I loved women also, you know? So that also what kept me in school. Just learning. I wanted to be a zoologist as a kid. So can you imagine wanting to become a zoologist and a writer and an artist now? Which is crazy. I just left Brookfield Zoo a couple days ago. It's still inside me.
The zoo, man.
Yeah, I do.
Tell us about performing at the 15th Annual Music Festival. How was that? In front of 20,000 people.
It's crazy, man. It's breathtaking, man. I mean, just to see 20,000 just singing your lyrics, I mean, going crazy. It's inspiring. I mean, it's a high. I mean, when you hear, like...
Natural.
Yes. When you hear artists honestly say, you know, I mean, fame is the worst drug known to man. Nobody wants this high to go down. So, I mean, I know I become a different person when I hit the stage. Okay. It's like, I'm in love with music. I love what I do. I love my job. It's a blessing.
How would you change this industry?
How would I change this industry? I basically, you know, I know everything changes for a reason. I would, take it back, man. Take it back to lyrics. Take it back to real songs. I mean, just the whole overall grind of it, man. It's just it's just completely different, man. It's like you don't love albums anymore. It's like artists don't make those kind of music. Actually, those kind of albums anymore. You know, whereas you can go back 10 years from now and pop it in.
Or you just want to re-listen to it.
Exactly.
Over and
it never
over
dies. It never dies.
They kind of almost tell us.
So how do you feel? What do you feel about Kanye West right now and his success? Since you know him pretty well.
Yeah, I mean that's my dude, man, and I mean he's a monster.
He is a monster.
He's a beast. He's a workaholic, and I mean, hey, I took my hat to him, you know.
Kimmy ain't stopping him, huh? Kim's not stopping him from doing nothing.
No.
He's doing his thing right now.
Yeah, most definitely.
Before we go to the commercial break, what would you tell young artists right now that are trying to, aspiring artists that are trying to make it big right now? What advice would you give them?
Never give up.
Never give up.
Never allow anyone, I mean, to put out your flame, I mean, to step on your dream. And not only that, don't be afraid to be original. You know, don't mimic what you hear out here. You know, the industry don't need everybody to sound the same, you know. Attack what you want and take what you want. It's gonna be rainy days out here, but never give up. Keep your umbrella up and keep going. It's all good, man, most definitely, you know. Thanks for having me, man. Anytime, you know. I gotta come back again and bless you guys and hang out, you know.
I appreciate it, bro. Anytime you want. Loudhouse is your house, you know.
Oh, yeah. Sounds good.
So where can people find you? Can they add you Instagram, Twitter?
Yes, sir. I'm on the at Really D Williams, both of those, you know. Twitter, Instagram.
Really D.
Really D Williams, Go 45 Williams. That's at Really D Williams. REALLYDEE Williams, baby. Check me out.
Don't forget the Williams.
You going anywhere?
Hey, Code 45, man. We might need some sponsorship with all this, man, going on. Stop playing.
Shout out to Chicago Radio College Tour as well. Forgot to give them some shout outs.
Much love, Chicago Radio.
That's right. WindyCityUnderground.com.
The ground instead of skyscraper too low. Thinking we local. Come on, homie, we major. We major? Come on, homie, we major. We major? Come on, homie, we major. We major. Come on, homie, we major. We major. Come on. Feeling better than some.